Hi everybody, Mark Bancroft here, reliving the revolution. Today we're going to talk about one of the three major battles in South Carolina. We're talking the Southern Theater. It's headed up by General Nat Green, and he's not involved in this particular battle. So what you had Nat Green coming down from the north, and Cornwallis was coming up from the south, and they were going to do battle. And Green realizes that he doesn't have enough men to do battle with Cornwallis, so he sends this guy Morgan. Colonel Morgan, experienced fighter, been in several battles, French and Indian War, Battle of Quebec, very sharp guy, well military. He sends Morgan off around to the flank to get behind Cornwallis. Cornwallis realizes this is happening, and he sends this guy Tarleton, who is a vicious guy. He's got a history of not taking prisoners. He just bayonets them and leaves them for dead. He's not very well liked, but he's very effective. So Tarleton is now coming up, and he's actually chasing Morgan a little bit, and they get to a place called Cowpens, and Morgan decides that he's backed up against the Broad River, and this is a perfect location. It's a grazing field, it's got a little hill, and the river it's January, it's got the winter floods going, and almost impossible to cross. He doesn't want to get caught trying to ford the river and have Tarleton come up and massacre his guys. So he turns and he says, okay, this is where we're going to do battle. And so Morgan's got about 1,800 guys. Tarleton's got about 1,200 guys. Morgan's is made up of militia and marauders. Down south, they had these guys that just went around marauding, and he had about 500 or 600 Continental Army guys. And these sharpshooters and stuff like that, the militias didn't have a real good reputation for sticking out a battle. So what Morgan does is he meets with his aides. He's a colonel, is promoted to general, and he meets with his aides, and he comes up with a battle plan. And his battle plan is quite ingenious and is copied a couple more times. So you have Tarleton's coming this way. Now he's worked his guys. They're exhausted. They ran out of food, and they've been marching for 4 days. And he's been marching them fast because he wants to catch Morgan. So he gets them up at 2 o'clock in the morning and marches them and gets them ready, gets them as well as he can for battle. Refuses his subordinates say, let him rest a couple hours. He says no, and they go right into battle, which is what Morgan was hoping for. So Morgan sets up the first line. He has 3 lines. He sets up his first line right here, and that's the sharpshooters. Then he sets up his second line right here, and that's the militia. And then over behind this little tiny hill, he has the Continental Army right here. All right, and then over here, he has William Washington, no relation to George. He's sitting here, and he's running the horse soldiers, the mounted infantry. So he's just sitting right here. And so what happens is he directs the sharpshooters to take 2 shots and aim at the officers, okay, and then retreat. Now you got to remember that the militia are known for as soon as there's a shot fired, running. And so he takes advantage of this knowledge, and Tarleton starts sending his guys this way. And so the sharpshooters, they take 2 shots, and they're all, you know, they're hitting their sharpshooters, and they're very, very good. They then come back to here, and they come back to here, and then the militia, they take 3 shots along with the sharpshooters. And these guys the British are just getting annihilated because these guys are hitting them so fast. And then, excuse me, the instructions that these 2 groups have is to come, retreat out this way, and come around and hide behind this little hill. Okay, so the British think that they got them on the run. The militia is running away again, and so they start coming up this way. They continue on this way. They're coming up. They're losing a lot of men, but they're still moving forward. Tarleton is excited. He's got his mounted horsemen back here, and he says, "Okay, I want you to flank them now. There's nobody on the flank, so flank them this way." And then he sends another group to flank them this way. Well, Morgan knew that was going to happen because he planned. He didn't have anything on the flanks because that's what he wanted to happen. Morgan sends Washington and his mounted guys this way, and boom, the British get stopped. These guys, all these guys that ran away, that they were planned that way. They got back, they reassembled back here, got reloaded, got all coordinated. This whole battle didn't take very, very long. And they come down this way, and they hit these guys. Boom! British can't move this way, so they end up, they're getting, the Continental Army is now up on the hill. They're on the high ground, the British are on the low ground, and we're only talking, you know, like 15, 20 feet, but it's still significant in that it hid all of these players behind the scenes. There's a little crest right here. Continental Army comes up, British can't do anything. They end up turning around and retreating. These guys turn around and retreat, and what's left of these guys, that way. It was a decisive victory for the Continental Army. Very, it was what we needed down south. We had been losing these little battles all throughout the South. We lost Savannah, we lost Charleston, we lost at Camden. Excuse me. Everybody was kind of like down and out, not thinking that we could win the war. Nothing was going on. Morgan provided us with a definitive victory, and it made Cornwallis rethink what he was doing. That's the Battle of Cowpens, one of the 3 major battles in the South. Thanks for tomorrow. We'll do another one. Thanks for listening.